from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they actually love, and create real and amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, #1 best-selling author, co-host of the super popular Smart Money Happy Hour with George Kamel, is my co-host today, #1 best-selling author. How many times? I mean, you got a lot of accolades. She's my daughter too.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
but you can keep them going. It's great.
Just keep. How many #1s?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there's a lot of #1 bestsellers. Yeah. Open phones at 888-825-5225. We're going to talk about your life and you right in front of you. Jason starts us off in Austin, Texas. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Hello, Dave. Rachel, how you doing?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, I felt really behind the eight ball. I was wondering if I could put away for retirement and pay off debt at the same time. I've been doing the baby steps, and I have currently now went from $300 to $120,000 worth of student loan debt. I have a car loan of $33,000. And
you went from 300,000 in student loans down to 125?
Yes.
Way to go, man!
Yeah, I was working really hard.
How long did that take you?
It took me about 3 years.
Wow.
3 years.
What do you make?
So when I was I'm a physician. So when I was in residency, I was making about 70. My wife also worked, so she was making about 72. So we were living in living off of one income. And
what's your household income now?
So currently it's $290.
Oh, man, you're awesome. Way to go. You're going to knock this out in no time, aren't you?
I have nothing in retirement, so I'm worried.
You're okay.
How old are you, Jason?
35.
Okay. Oh, man, listen, you're going to be debt-free in a year and a half.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Let's just be real careful. You make $300,000 a year. You're 37 years old, and you have no debt. Can we retire rich? Answer: yes.
Okay.
Hello. Think about it. Really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So keep doing the baby steps. Just don't.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, keep doing the plan. You're doing great. I think you're probably getting a little fatigued, Jason. I mean, after 3 years of it,
tired.
yeah. I mean, after 3 years, you're just like, oh my gosh, is this? And so, and you're hitting the big ones now. And so,
worse than that, some doctor friend of yours started giving you financial advice.
Everybody's buying houses right now.
Yeah,
I know.
Every doctor, let me just tell you, broke doctors are like broke people in the music business. It's like most of them. They're really good at their craft, and they think that makes them good at money, and they suck at money most of the time. There's some doctors do a really good job, but MDs that are horrible with money and arrogant about it they're like a stereotype in our world.
Yeah, and what's hard, Jason, is because
don't take advice from them.
Yeah, and I think, because a lot of them can err on the side of having a larger income. And so what can happen with a larger income, just like you've experienced, you talk about this, Dave, is like it can just mask your mistakes and your bad habits because you just throw more money at it and it's fine until something starts to happen and you start to realize, wow, the thing I have built is a house of cards and I actually don't have great money habits. So for you, Jason, I think it's just this powerful imagery of, hey, if I actually do this stuff and I clear the debt and I do everything the right way, what you're going to do when you build wealth is actually true wealth. Like it's going to be on a really strong foundation because of the choices you're making today. And so,
very good.
Again, while everyone else looks like they're doing it, you guys are going to be great, Jason. Listen, I promise. You will be fine.
I'm with Rachel. I'm going to put some gas in your tank because your tank's empty, but your car is awesome. I mean, you need to, because you've been doing really good. For God's sakes, everybody around you should be taking your advice, not the other way around, okay? You need to put the pedal down and finish the race, man. The tape is in sight. Sprint for the finish line.
And Jason,
you're right there,
yes,
man.
And after you guys, again, looking at just the numbers, I'm like, and once you guys pay off this debt, to your point, Dave, like that you're going to be able to build wealth, and you guys are going to do your 15% to retirement. You guys are going to be buying a house. You're going to pay it. Like before you know it, you're going to have money to be like, okay, now what do we do with this extra money?
Your net worth.
We're going to be able to invest even more in other things, right? I mean, like you're going to be fine.
Yeah. If you follow these steps, you'll be a millionaire plus when you're 40. Easy. based on where you are right now. Easy, probably $2 million. But if you just follow the steps, just do what we teach you to do. I mean, just don't. Oh, man, you're just doing so good. I'm so proud of you. All right, Clayton's in Kansas City. Hey, Clayton, what's up?
Hi there. How are you today?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Awesome. Hey, so my main question is, should we start paying off my wife's student loans right now, or should we wait until after she graduates? There's a couple factors and a couple plans we have. So we've got a $10,000 emergency account. Her student loans currently are for $4,000, but we will have to take out student loans for the next semester coming up here in October for another $4,000. She goes to a pretty cheap online school.
Well, no, we're not. No, stop. The first thing you do is stop borrowing. That's step one.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So you got the money to pay cash. Make sure you still got the money to pay cash at the end of our discussion, okay? Finish school with no more debt.
Yeah. So the issue is that she lost her job a while ago, and we're getting ready to have a baby in October. So that was one of my questions: is should we drain our emergency account to pay for these 2 semesters, and then
what do you make?
How is she going to go to school, Clayton, and have a baby?
Yep. So she's doing a fully online school.
Okay. So
and
how is she going to keep up with the work? I mean, like, I'll just be real. I mean, as someone that's had 3 kids, is it possible? Sure, anything's possible. Is it the smartest thing to do to go a semester into school while you're in the middle of having your first baby? I would, if I were her, I would pause.
Take a semester off.
Yeah, have the baby. You guys save up some cash. Make sure she's good. You guys are going to be like zombies for about like 2 months with a newborn. So there's no reason to rush all of this. If I were her, I would just pause for that next semester, and you guys have your family, enjoy that season.
What do you make?
I make $4,433 a month.
What's she studying?
She is studying to be an elementary school teacher.
At graduate level?
Yeah, sorry.
Getting her master's, probably.
Degree.
Oh, getting her bachelor's.
Getting her bachelor's degree.
Oh, finishing her bachelor's. Okay, so she's finishing up her undergrad.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool.
So it is. It's an online school, and I guess the way it works is it's self-paced. So
what is? How old are you two?
I'm 24, and she is 23.
Okay, Rachel's right. If I were in your shoes, I would take a semester off. You guys, you can work an extra job if you need to, and she takes care of the baby, and let's enjoy this and not try to run past this in a dead sprint. Just take, and then you got plenty of time to get back, finish the degree.
To save up and pay the $4,000.
But don't pay off debt and then turn around and go back in debt, and then pay off debt and then turn around and go back in debt. That's a dog chasing his tail. That's useless. Don't do that. This is the Ramsey Show. Hey, if you're in over your head with student loans and tired of getting calls from collection agencies, if private student loan debt is taking away your financial peace and you don't see any way out, you need Y Refi. They're not a debt settlement company, and they're not connected to a bank. Y Refi refinances defaulted private student loans that other places won't touch and gives you a custom loan built for you based on your ability to pay. So when you refinance your private student loan debt with Y Refi, you'll have a payment you can afford with a low fixed interest rate you couldn't get anywhere else to help you stick to your budget and work the debt snowball. And you can save thousands of dollars. To learn more about this custom refinancing option and a lump sum payoff option you could qualify for after 24 months, call 844-2-RAMSEY or go to yrefi.com/Ramsey. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Jade Warshaw, one of our other Ramsey personalities, is doing a budgeting webinar August the 9th. For most of you, that's tomorrow. And it's at 12:30 Eastern Time. It's completely free. If you want to learn how to do a good budget, particularly if you have an irregular, unpredictable income, we can help you with that too. All of this is built into the world's best budgeting app called Every Dollar. And you can get on Every Dollar for free. Download the app. But if you really want to learn how to use it for free, Jade will help you with a few of her closest friends tomorrow. Go to everydollar.com/budgeting and get signed up. And spoiler alert, in a couple of days, we're going to be, like tomorrow, we're going to start telling you Rachel Cruz is doing one of these webinars a little bit later in the month, right?
August 15th. Yeah, and these are fun. We're excited to do these because budgeting is like, it's the glue that holds so much of this together, and it's such a crucial piece, and it's a piece that a lot of people sometimes can skip over or have these ideas of what it is. But all the emotions around money, so many of those negative emotions can be solved through having a plan and actually being in control. So we're excited to dive in with you guys, and there's going to be Q&A portion, so we're going to get to hang out. Yeah, and it's all for free. So Jade's is tomorrow.
It's actually a budgeting seminar is actually a free marriage seminar.
Yeah, if you're married, we'll actually probably end up talking about more issues than just budgeting.
Yeah, it's gonna bring up some stuff. Okay, yeah. Hey, question of the day is brought to you by Neighborly, your hub for home services. They're the place to find reliable help for your home from trusted, locally owned businesses like Glass Doctor, Mr. Handyman, and Shelf Genie. Visit neighborly.com to find home experts that are available to serve you. Great company.
So today's question comes from Clayton in Texas. I'd like to move to a nicer neighborhood. However, with the housing prices high and the interest rates high, I'm not sure it's the best time. The only debt I have is my house, $145,000 left on my loan at 2.65% rate. I'm confident I can sell my house for $300,000, if not more. The downfall is I'm giving up a low interest rate for a more expensive house and a higher rate. Thank you for your time. Yeah, I mean, this is a very standard question. A lot of people are asking, like, hey, I want to upgrade. But then as they do the math and they look at the interest rate and over the life of a loan, we say pay it off faster than 15 years. But a 15-year loan, I mean, you're going to be paying a substantial more money towards your interest. And so for a lot of people, that's making them hesitant. But you guys, I mean, my philosophy always with buying a home is buy it when you're ready. It's a great investment. We want everyone to own a home. We want you to have a primary residence when you're ready. It's a great part of your financial picture. And so, you have to really be able to kind of take the noise and everything going on that you hear at the news and everything and kind of mute all of that and say, okay, where are we financially? And as long as your payment is within that 25% of your take-home pay, you're on a 15-year fixed rate, and if all of that math still works for you and you have a good down payment, then you can move forward with it. But you have to know mathematically, we're going to be paying more in interest. But, I mean, Dave, a lot of people are, they're pausing a home buying because they're like, gosh, I have a good rate now in my current home. And if we move, it's going to triple basically into a higher interest rate.
Well, as long as you're at 25% of your take-home pay on a 15-year fix, there's two things going on when you do that. One is you're going to get out of debt faster than 15 years. Okay. Two is we know you can afford it.
Yeah.
That you're buying a house that is reasonable. Your move up is reasonable. If it fits those two things, Clayton, you should go ahead and do it now. Okay. Because here's the thing. You said some incorrect things here. Okay. However, with housing prices being high, no, honey, housing prices just are. They're not high. They're high compared to yesterday. They're low compared to tomorrow. They're not coming back down. When you say they're high, it's almost as if you think they might come back down. They're not coming down. Okay? In 60 years, 70 years, house prices have gone down one time temporarily in 2008. And they shot back up. One time. If you're going to sit around and wait on one time in 60 or 70 years to happen, you're never getting a house. They're not coming down. You're buying a house the way it is now, and when you're ready.
That's right. Yep.
As far as the interest rates go, I don't know if they'll come back down. If they do, refinance. If they don't, pay off the stupid loan. Because you know what my interest rate is on my loan? 0, because I don't have a loan. So there's a good way to get a 0%. Pay the stinking thing off.
Pay it off.
And then you don't worry about the interest rates. You're not keeping this thing around like it's a pet. You're getting rid of the mortgage. So, you know, number one, house prices are not coming back down. If you're going to buy, this is the best time to buy in the next 20 years, right now, price-wise. If interest rates are, I'm worried about interest rates being high. Interest rates are not high. They're not high historically. They are higher than
Compared
they
to
were.
2.65, right?
They're higher than they were, but over the course of history, they're really not high. And so if they did come back down, then just refinance.
Because they were at what? When you were selling houses in the 80s?
I was selling houses in the 80s, they were 17%.
17%, yeah.
And they came down to 14, and people came out of their houses like they did after COVID. They're stampeding to buy houses, and rates were 14. And then they went down to 10. And then they went down to 9, and somebody called me up and said, I don't want to buy a house at 9. I was on the radio then, and I'm like, why? It's 9. As compared to 17, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
And I said, you'll never see 6. And little did I know how dumb I was. Of course you saw 6 on the way down to 3. But the 3%, 2% interest rate range was artificially created by the government trying to recover from 2008. The market did not drive us down there. The market has hovered around 6 for decades, a couple of decades now, in and out of the 6% range. So historically, it's only compared to a year ago or 2 years ago that they're high. So this is the time to buy a house. It is the time for sure to sell a house. Yes. There's still more buyers than there are houses.
Yep.
It's still a seller's market. So get with a good real estate agent. Go to RamseySolutions.com. Click on ELP for Ramsey Trusted Endorsed Local Provider for real estate agent that knows what the flip they're doing. It has experience and sells a bunch of houses. And if you're ready to move, you're out of debt, you're buying it, 25% of your take-home pay, Rachel's exactly right. It's not based on all the noise that you're hearing from your friends or in the marketplace. It's when you're ready. It's like I was with this wine expert the other day who's one of the most renowned wine guys in the world. And he said, I said, what is that good wine? And he said, do you like it? That's the definition of good wine. Do you like it? When you are ready.
Yep.
You know, and so, you know, do you like it? Are you ready? Are you in good shape? Are you ready to make the move? Bia is with us in Seattle. Hi, Bia. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. Is it Bia?
Bia, yes.
I did say it right. Good.
All right.
How can I help?
Yes. Hello, Dave. Hello, Rachel. God bless both of you, and thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I want to know if I should sell an investment property that I own.
Do you like it?
I do like it.
Okay. Why are you selling it?
Because I am in debt. Right now, my combined debt with car loan, I just got a new unsecured loan. So all of my debt combined is $114,297.65.
What the crap did you buy, Bia?
It's a mixture of credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and charge cards.
So you've been spending like you're in Congress for how long?
I did. Since I left the military, I retired about 10 years ago. I have paid off some debt, but I still have that debt left. So it's a combination of one unsecured signature loan and 3 other separate credit cards is my total debt.
Thanks for your service. When are you going to stop overspending?
I am in the midst of changing right now, which is one of the reasons why I called.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Okay. Because if you sell the rental property and pay off all the debt and you keep overspending, you'll be right back here in 10 years.
Haven't changed you. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Bia, stay on the line because Skylar's going to pick up. We're heading into a break, but I want to put you through Financial Peace University because this is our 9-lesson course that will walk you through not just the head knowledge of what to do, but actually the behavior change is what we're kind of keying on, right? If you sell this and just throw the money at it, you haven't changed. You can get right back in the same issues. You have to change you. And so this has community, has coaching, it has so many elements to come under you and help you through this new journey. So stay on the line.
If you will stay on a budget and live on less than you make, yes, you should sell the rental and get rid of the debt. But only if you're going to stay on a budget and live on less than you make.
Hey guys, being free to make your own medical decisions is a big deal these days. Christian Healthcare Ministries gives members the freedom to choose the doctors and providers they want without the frustration of worrying about networks and with no waiting period to join. It's a membership-based nonprofit ministry where hundreds of thousands of Christians share funds to pay for and pray for each other's medical bills. For over 40 years, CHM has helped families living across all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Check out more today at chministries.org/budget.
Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author. My daughter is my co-host today. Be sure and check her and George out. The Smart Money Happy Hour has a once-a-week podcast drop. It drops on Thursday, right?
Yes, every Thursday. New episodes.
Every Thursday. If you want to figure out what these two are drinking, what their advice is, you can find it out there.
Do mocktail and cocktail, so you get I saw on social media, I don't see much on social media, but I was thumbing through my Insta. What do you call that? The gram? What do you call it? You're right. It's the Insta.
It's the gram.
Keep going.
The gram.
So good.
And there's a little kid, 10 years old,
Yeah.
drinking the mocktail that you all taught him to make
It was
on
probably a fun
Smart Money Happy Hour. So
summer.
I think you're causing juvenile delinquency.
No!
That's what I'm thinking.
It's probably muddled.
There was no alcohol in it.
It was probably muddled strawberries with some mints.
No, it was the one with it was like a float. It had like ice cream or something.
Yeah. I mean, we have fun.
Yeah.
Listen, you need something fun.
I think you're causing problems
while
with the
you
youth
talk
of
about
America.
pop culture and money. And hey, we get messages all the time that 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds love the show, and even like 80-year-olds love
And
the
you're
show.
teaching them to drink.
We're not. We're not teaching them to drink. Listen.
It's not a show about drinking, people. I'm just kidding.
It's a happy hour
They do have a drink
show.
of the day, and it's because it's happy hour.
Yeah,
and sometimes
during
it has
happy hour.
alcohol. So check it out. It's always fun and funny because George and Rachel are, if anything, they're fun. If anything, they're always fun.
Brings
so be
the
sure
fun.
and check it out.
I think somebody wishes we talked about money a little bit more and a little less fun sometimes, but we have a lot of fun.
It's kind of in the title, Smart Money Happy Hour. There's that. Yeah, okay. So I'm just holding you accountable to that. That's all. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Madison is in Des Moines, Iowa. Hi, Madison. How are you?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Sure. What's up?
So my question is, I have a camper that I'm renting out and making good money on, but we're living in a dumpy house and we got a lot of debt that we need to tackle. So should I sell that camper and get like $15,000 back plus get rid of that loan debt and put that on my current debt, or should I move my family into the camper and kind of use that as our use it as a way to decrease our expenses?
Okay.
I'm a little bit unclear how you rent out campers for money. What's going on? Explain that to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's some great websites that you can go. It's kind of like an Airbnb.
Oh, so it's like a camper Uber. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. So I just drop it off to people and they rent it for a weekend or something.
My God, what will they come up with next? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm just learning something.
Okay.
So what is it? How much do you make on that? I'm just curious. I'm going to tell you to sell it anyway, but how much do you make on it?
I've been making about $1,000 a week, which has been nice, extra cash for us.
What's it worth?
The camper is worth $43,000.
How much do you owe
But
on
I
it?
owe $25,000.
Every week you're making $1,000.
Every week that it's rented, I would say.
Oh,
This
well,
is my
no
first
kidding.
year
How many
doing
weeks is it
so.
rented?
Most weeks. I probably at least 3 weeks a month.
And is that year round though, Madison, or is that just because of the summer?
Just because of the summer.
Okay.
I have been looking into shipping.
So you're
it
not
down
making
south and have somebody
$52,000 a year, $1,000 a week. You're making $20,000 a year.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's helpful
Yeah.
because I was about to just have a coronary over here, about to go into camper business. But anyway, sell it. Listen, you're not in a position to be in the camper investment Airbnb business. You're broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you already knew. I just said it more bluntly.
How much debt do you guys have, Madison, total?
Combined with me and my husband, we have about $140,000 in
On
debt.
what?
We have a business that we started, and that's been doing really well. But the startup cost for that was we have about $15,000 left on that. We have a vehicle. I have student loans.
How much you owe on the vehicle?
The vehicle about $40,000.
What do you owe on the student loans?
$45,000.
Okay. And
How much do you guys make a year?
About $144,000.
And then you owe 20 on the camper.
25 on the camper.
25 on the camper. That gets us to 140. Okay. Hey, yeah. And your household income's what?
$144,000.
And you're in a dumpy house?
Yeah, we are renting because we moved back from Florida, weren't sure what to do with the business, but we really need to have a place that we have the business at home because it's so inconvenient right now. The house is not in the best shape, not in the best neighborhood.
And how long? You don't have 2 years tax returns on the business, though, do you?
I don't have my tax returns. The CPA that I hired to do my
you haven't had the business 2 years, have you?
I have. It's in the third year right now.
Okay. Did you make enough in the 2 years on your tax returns when you do get them done to take them to the mortgage company and get a mortgage for a house?
Yes.
Okay. So if you sold the camper and you tore into the debt and knocked out the debt and then saved up a down payment,
you sold the car.
And you sold a car, you could be debt free in less than a year and start talking about buying a house.
Yes. So
how's
stay in
that
the house
sound?
that we're at now.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, Madison, if I were you guys, I would just sell whatever you can. Sell the camper, sell the car, like all that stuff you can rebuy
both
later.
Cats. Sell both cats.
But it's like, just get rid of stuff. And I mean, obviously the student loan and the business loan, those are still going to be around, but knock those two out. And I think you guys are going to be in a totally different position. I think it's a good just mental exercise for you guys.
Here's
just
the
to
thing.
you've been carrying around all this stuff that's equated to carrying around debt, and just getting rid of some of it, I think it's going to bring you a lot of peace, Madison.
It's kind of a minimalism move for you guys. Yeah. And the thing is, you're just entrepreneurial and you see something shiny and you jump on it.
Yeah.
And that's how the camper thing happened. And then I could go over and do this and I can do that and I could do this. And then all of a sudden your life got real cluttered.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Well, the camper we bought because we moved into it. And we were living in it for a while, and then we have 3 kids.
That didn't work.
So we decided
the
we need
adventure
a house,
was over.
But now we're in the house, and that's not working either. So.
Yeah. Well, let's have a 1 year to 18-month plan to be 100% debt-free with an emergency fund and a down payment because you're making really good money, and get real focused with a budget to do all this, and then sell everything in sight. Sell so much stuff the kids think they're next, and really get in gear here, and let's get this stuff done. Rachel's exactly right. That's what I would do, because I can see what the thing is that with the cluttered approach, the chaotic approach that you've used to money so far has kind of made you feel like you're never going to get there. And we can see the numbers where you're really going to get there very fast if you take these dramatic moves. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's just going to bring you guys a level of peace and control that you just haven't had, Madison. I mean,
but of 140, 80K is a camper and a car.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, it's amazing just like removing some of that, and then you put your life on top of Madison with 3 kids and you guys are working, you're starting a business. I mean, you guys have a lot of moving pieces in your life anyways. And so just simplifying and getting stuff out, I think is going to feel really cleansing to you guys in more ways than just the financial. I think it's really going to be helpful. And then working a plan and being intense on that plan, seeing progress and goals. You guys are really goal oriented. So you're going to start to feel that traction. And I think you guys are going to kill it. I mean, I think you're going to do great.
Yeah, that's very good. You really got the potential but you're going to have to make some pretty dramatic shifts here in the short term to get your long-term goals. But I mean, visualize 3 years from now, you're living in a nice home with a 15-year fixed where the payment's no more than a fourth of your take-home pay. Your business is continuing to grow and you've got no debt other than that. I can breathe that in, and that feels like a better life.
And that's
worth no camper, no car.
Yes. And that's not out of reach, Madison. That dream
that's
for 3 years, like that's reality.
That's completely doable.
Yep, absolutely.
Mathematically, with the math you gave us, that's doable. But you guys got to line up and get after it. You got to bust it. And if you do that, then this will work for you. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, thank you for calling in. Man, I love people. I just learn something every day on this show.
Dave's like, make money renting out a camper?
Well, I'm thinking,
should I?
$42,000 camper, and you're getting $1,000 a week in 42 months. You paid for the thing. I mean, it's 42 weeks.
It is an amazing world we live in of what you can rent
pay
out.
For the thing.
Even rent out your car.
But it doesn't stay rented.
I mean, you rent out everything.
It took me a minute to get to the bottom of the business pro forma, but yeah, okay. Anyway, this is the Ramsey Show. Well, you've all played the telephone game. The first person whispers a message to the second person, who whispers it to the third, and so on around the table until the original message has completely changed. Multiply that confusion by 100 if you run a business with different software systems that don't talk to each other. That's why there's NetSuite by Oracle. In the early days of Ramsey, we were using different systems for all of our business units. We needed one single source for accurate data. NetSuite was the software we used to optimize and take us to the next level. NetSuite gave us the visibility into all of our numbers so that we could communicate across departments and plan ahead better. And as we grew, it scaled with us. NetSuite worked for Ramsey, and it will make a difference for your business too. Join the more than 34,000 customers who trust NetSuite to help make them smarter and make better decisions and level up their operations. To learn more, get a free product tour at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thanks for listening to The Ramsey Show. We appreciate you. If you'd like to know more about what's going on and how you fit into this, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step in your journey, and I help you along the way in the whole process. So thanks for hanging out with us. Josh is in Shreveport, Louisiana. Hey, Josh, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my question is, my wife and I are working through the baby steps right now, and around the first of the year, we should be starting baby steps 4, 5, and 6.
Excellent.
And so I'm a high-income earner, and so my question is, can we take, I know we're supposed to do 15% towards retirement. What if we only did 10% and took the other 5% and helped get our mortgage out of the way as well?
Well, what do you make? What's your high income?
$500,000.
Good for you. What do you do?
I'm a physician.
Way to go, man. Way to go. Well, obviously, Josh, you're a grown person. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do. You're just asking if we would do that, I think.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you certainly can do that. And will you end up broke if you do that? No. You'll have a paid-for house and a little less in retirement. And then you'll probably correct and start doing more investments when you don't have a house payment, I assume, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct. We're
okay.
Right now we have $600,000 in retirement already.
Yeah. Okay.
And
not bad.
You know, we'll.
That's great.
Yes, sir. We're working at it.
How much is the house? How much do you have left on the house?
About $500,000.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the thing. It's a pretty simple thing. It's just if you do 10% instead of 15%, the house is going to be paid off a little faster, and you're going to have a little less in retirement. If you do it our way, you're going to have a little more in retirement, and it's going to take a little bit longer to pay off the house. But, neither one of these are going to break the bank. I would tell you that you're going to be okay. There's neither one of these are in the stupid column. Like please don't do that. You're going to destroy your life. None of that is in this discussion. Okay. So this is just nuanced stuff. So you need to do whatever you feel is best for you. I'm very comfortable that you're going to get both things done anyway. And it's not, and honestly, I think you'd be surprised if you actually put a spreadsheet on this, that it's not going to make that much difference. At the end of the story, say a 15-year time horizon, how much difference is your net worth going to be one way or the other? It's not going to be much. You're not really gaining hardly anything. So I'm going to stick with our plan because I've seen it work so many times. I'm really not going to stray from it. But I'll just say again, because I don't want to put out there that, oh, well, if you're a high income earner, this stuff doesn't apply to you. Yes, it does.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, it does. And, and if you had a $100,000 mortgage and you made $100,000 a year, instead of making $500,000 with a $500,000 mortgage, I would tell you exactly the same thing. So it's still just ratios. And so, you're going to be in debt X number of years longer my way, maybe 2 years more, something like that, than you would your way. So it's a 2-year differentiation that we're discussing. We're not even arguing about. But no, it doesn't change it. Your income doesn't change the principles. So the other thing is this. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would stay right with the baby steps.
Yeah.
But it's not. Again, you're going to get to the end. You're going to be fine as long as you stay on either one of those tracks and you don't go off into the la la land and start buying Bitcoin or some stupid butt stuff or something. Then you're going to be just fine. You're going to be fine. Good call. Thank you for joining us. All right, Christian is in Pittsburgh. Hey, Christian, what's up?
Hi. So I was calling. I'm currently working a career that I'm pretty much burnt out in, and I don't know how much longer I can do it. So I was wondering if I should try and stick it out to save up the money to go back to school, or if it would be worth it to take a loan out in this case.
What do you do?
I'm a nurse, a critical care nurse.
Okay. And
how long you been doing it?
2.5 years.
And what do you want to do?
Aviation. Go back to be a commercial pilot.
What got you into nursing?
Yeah. So when I was 14, I joined the fire department. That turned into working on the ambulance, and then that kind of turned into nursing and doing critical care. And aviation actually has always been something I wanted to do, but nursing was just an easier path at the time.
How much does it cost to go through that schooling to get your pilot's license?
It depends on the program that I do, anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000.
What are you making?
But my fiance and I combined household is $120,000 a year.
You're not combined. You're not married. What do you make?
Wow, I make $60,000. We both make $60,000.
That's weird. You're working critical care 40 hours and you're only making $60,000 in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Pittsburgh has a lot of nursing schools, so they have very low. It's a, supply and demand. There's a huge supply of nurses, not a ton of demand because they can get new grads that come in.
Yeah, we actually just did a salary episode for the Smart Money Happy Hour. George and I did, and we just taped it yesterday. And the nursing, it was right around. That's the national average. Actually, it's right around there, which was lower than what I was
not
even
in critical
thinking.
Care.
Honestly.
That's not. That's low for critical care. Okay. No, I'm not going to tell you to go into debt for anything ever. Yeah. I haven't in 35 years, and we're not going to start today with you. Okay. Now, past that, then what do we do to live a proper life and live your dream, right? So you need $50,000, and you need to adjust where you're working because it's not nursing that's driving you nuts. It's the location and the people and the particular stress of critical care that's driving you nuts.
Okay.
You didn't suddenly lose your heart for healing. You've had a heart for healing for a decade or more.
Yeah.
You're not burnt out on healing.
Are there other positions, Christian, that you're aware of in the nursing field that you're like, okay, I could do that for 3 more years or for 2 more years while I save?
Yeah, there are. The problem is that I don't meet the experience requirements for that yet. So like being a flight nurse working on the helicopter was also a dream of mine, but they require 5 years experience. I'm only at 3. So I need to do it for 2 more years.
Who's they? The local, that particular hospital? That's not an industry standard.
3 to 5 years is the industry standard for flight nursing of experience, critical care experience.
Well, you got 3, so that's good.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if...
and you came out of the fire department, so you should know somebody.
Yeah, the problem is all the services near me, due to their unions, require 5 years. So it would have to move, and currently my fiance is under a contract with her job that we can't move because she took a sign-on bonus. It's kind of where I'm stuck.
So I'm going to make some kind of an adjustment because the adjustment that you're talking about making is stupid. Don't do it. Okay. You're going to go into debt to become a pilot, and it's going to take you forever to start making a living doing that. Because you're going to start at the beginning again. I mean, entry level pilots don't make spit in today's world. Okay, I mean, you're getting ready to take a pay cut and go in debt for the opportunity. No, thank you. Now, do you want to go be a pilot? Sure, that's fine. I got no issue with that if that's what the game you want to play. But I really think you have a heart for healing. And I don't know that you'll be a nurse 10 years from now, but I think you easily got 3 or 4 more years left in you. You may just need to adjust where you are and how you're doing it. And do you pick up a travel nursing gig and double your income temporarily and be gone a little bit from the fiance and try to make some money and, refresh your spirit and refresh your wallet to get ready to go work on this. But dude, you're going to spend 50, 60, 80 grand to go be a pilot, and then you're going to make less than you make now. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all, okay? And so we've got to have a better plan than that has some common sense around it. Yes, do what you love, but don't do what you love in a way that's stupid. That's always a bad plan. People justify a lot of stupidity because it's my passion. That's dumb. Don't do that. And you're not going to. You're not going to because you're thinking about it. We appreciate you calling. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.
If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Visit Blinds.com to save up to 40% off everything site-wide. Go to Blinds.com for more information. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author and co-host of the Smart Money Happy Hour podcast on the Ramsey Networks. Be sure and check it out. Is my co-host today. Also my daughter. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jason is in Boise. Hi, Jason. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Rachel. Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than we deserve, sir. How can we help?
Good. I was wondering if you could settle kind of a disagreement. My wife and I, we've been gazelle intense for about 5 years now, but I have a mortgage still and a home equity line of credit we need to pay off. And I want to attack the home equity line of credit because of it's freaking me out because of the interest. Like, it's not a fixed interest rate. And my mortgage is a fixed interest rate at like 2.75. And we've got that paid down to about $30,000 right now.
What do you owe on the home equity line?
180.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was we bought a home about,
what's your household income?
About 90,000.
You need to refinance and get you a new first mortgage.
Okay. That was my next question. This is what I want to pay off the home mortgage, refinance, and then get it locked in.
Yeah, I hate to lose the 2%, but it's only on $30K of 210, so mathematically it doesn't come out to be much. So, and you get rid of the massive mess on the other side, put it on a 15-year fixed, and then that becomes a baby step 6, and you can chill and start working your baby steps 4, 5, 6, because I assume you have your emergency fund done.
We do. Okay. And we also, I was wondering if we own a business, a small business, and I was wondering if we should sell it and then be totally debt-free if we sold it.
That's not your primary source of income?
Yes, it is.
It is. How much could you sell it for?
Yeah. We were asking $330 for it.
So it's already up for sale.
What's that?
It's already up for sale.
Yeah, it's not yet. No.
So you're not asking anything yet. Okay.
Not asking that, but doing the math to be debt free and after paying a capital gains tax and then a broker. I was wondering. That kind of
I would not sell it just to pay off the house. I mean, if this is, are you done with this business and ready to move on to another chapter of your life? That's a whole different discussion than the mortgage discussion.
And, well, we have been talking about, we've been running this business for almost 5 years now. And I just thought, well, if we ran it for 5 years, built up the brand, and then if we sold it, then we can be.
Well, why not run it for 50 years and make money on it?
Yeah, that's what my wife said you were going to say.
Well, I mean, no, I'm just asking. If you hate it and you want to sell it because you hate going down there every day, that's a career question.
Okay.
But there's not a thing that says you have to sell a business when it's built up. We're not selling this one. It's going to the kids.
Okay. Yeah, because we have put a lot of hard work into it.
Do you enjoy it, Jason? Do you guys?
We absolutely do. It's just sometimes it is a little tough with the inflation stuff. Everybody's going through it, and I know that. And we have been dealing with, since we're a small business, we're dealing with kids not wanting to work, and so we're working it most of the time. But we do enjoy being. That was part of opening the business, was to be together all the time and not be apart from each other.
Okay. Yeah, I think you need to assess that separately from the debt issue.
Okay.
Do we want to be running this business, or do we need to make some changes so that we want to keep running the business, or do we want to sell the business? Any of those are fine. There's no wrong answer there. I would not tell you need to sell that to get rid of this stupid home equity loan. No, that's not a statement you're going to get here. I'm sorry your wife won the argument, but you need to get a new mortgage and pay off the home equity loan, okay?
Okay.
Call Churchill Mortgage. They'll help you get that refinanced, and the 2% is horrible to get rid of, but again, it's a very small amount of your loan, and the big amount of your loan is an angry monster loan, and it's going to eat you. Don't let it do that. And he could feel it, couldn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He could feel it. Like, this thing's bad. His wife can feel it for sure.
I wouldn't, yeah. Make it consistent, know what you're getting, predictable, and you guys just put in baby step 6.
Yeah.
That's great.
There's a good part of money that's you should attempt to approach boring. You want to have a boring, automatic kind of thing going on with your money. And so if your money is super exciting all the time, that probably means you're taking a lot of risk and there's a lot of chaos going on. And so generally speaking, the people, and I don't mind the excitement, I'm an entrepreneurial type, but from a process standpoint, you should be pretty calm. The data tells us that the calm, steady people are the ones that have more money.
Yeah.
they're the ones that end up millionaires.
It's the consistency and
It's
probably
the
that level of
the tortoise, not the hare.
Yeah.
And so if there's anytime you approach chaos or versus order is better. You know, and it's just like, you know, this because the other is just flailing and it's desperation and there's
a lot
anxiety around it and all this, and you don't want to get there. You don't want to get there. Travis is in Phoenix. Hi, Travis. How are you?
Good. How are you doing this afternoon?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Looking to get some advice on how to pay off 2 new vehicle notes that my wife and I just did in March.
Good Lord. Why did you do that?
Well, because we make good money and we like to spend
You don't make
money.
good enough money. Pay cash for those cars.
I should have, but I did not.
You have the cash?
We do have about $350 in the bank right now.
Well, write a check and pay off your cars.
That was my question. We have a CD coming due in 2 weeks that could pay those off, and I wasn't sure if we should just cash out the CD.
I've never met anybody that got rich borrowing on their cars and investing in CDs.
Okay, definitely makes sense. So that was my question of, you know, instead of putting money into savings every month, we bank about $5,000 to $6,000 a month. I was wondering if we should save a couple months, pay off one, save a couple months, pay off the other, or just lump it with the CD in 2 weeks.
You shouldn't have done this unless you wrote a check to buy them. Quit buying things unless you pay for them. That's what rich people do. They pay for things. You make a lot of money, but it's new to you. This big piles of cash is fairly new to you.
Within the last 8 or 9 years,
Yeah, this is not like something you've done for 25 years. And so
No, sir.
You're still trying to get used to these number of zeros that are in your life emotionally. And so sometimes it feels like, oh, maybe I need to do that. And I wonder what's sophisticated. And don't be sophisticated. Just pay for crap. And if you do that, you'll always have your most powerful wealth building tool at your disposal, which is your income.
And thank God, Travis. I mean, you guys are doing an incredible job.
Got a lot
you
of
have
money.
It. So it's like, just use it. Yeah. Use the money
I'm glad
for
you didn't call
Don't
me
use
and
the
say I
bank's
just
number.
borrowed to buy 2 new cars and I'm broke. That would even been worse. But at least you got the money in the bank and you can just write a check and you're free. And you can go, oh, that was dumb. I shouldn't have done that. Now I got rid of the dumb. Now I just got the cars. Okay? Just
Gonna feel good, Travis.
A little less dumb. There you go.
Great.
There you go. This is the Ramsey Show. Hey, if you're in over your head with student loans and tired of getting calls from collection agencies, if private student loan debt is taking away your financial peace and you don't see any way out, you need Y-Refi. They're not a debt settlement company and they're not connected to a bank. Y-Refi refinances defaulted private student loans that other places won't touch and gives you a custom loan built for you based on your ability to pay. So when you refinance your private student loan debt with Y-Refi, you'll have a payment you can afford with a low fixed interest rate you couldn't get anywhere else to help you stick to your budget and work the debt snowball. And you can save thousands of dollars. To learn more about this custom refinancing option and a lump sum payoff option you could qualify for after 24 months, call 844-2-RAMSEY or go to yrefi.com/Ramsey. Well, there's some cool stuff going on around Ramsey right now. Tomorrow, for most of you, that will be August the 9th on Wednesday. Jade Washaw will be doing a free webinar on budgeting. If you want to sign up for Jade teaching you how to use the Every Dollar app and a whole budgeting seminar, it's completely free. Just go to everydollar.com/budgeting. Budgeting. That'll get you signed up. Rachel is going to be doing one of those, teaching about how to do an irregular income or how to do budgeting of any kind and go through the whole process of walking the baby steps with the new financial roadmap that's part of the Every Dollar app. And that is if you want to sign up for hers, that's going to be the 15th of August.
Yeah, and these are really great too because there's a lot of Q&A. It's a lot of interactive. And if you feel like you're alone in the stress of budgeting or even the idea of, oh my gosh, how do I even start this? I feel overwhelmed with my money. That's how majority of people feel. So you are normal. And this is a place and a space that we're creating for you guys just to come in and ask your questions and talk through, hey, how do you take this emotional thing that is really difficult and actually put something into practice that you can have. And honestly, even with the app like Every Dollar, use every day to help you in control of your money.
First time you drove a car, it was awkward. First time you do a budget, it's awkward. I don't care if you got a PhD in finance. Learning to do a budget is awkward. It feels weird. It's a new skill, and it takes a little bit. So Rachel's webinar on the 15th will be at everydollar.com/webinar. If you want to sign up for that. So /budgeting for Jade's on the 9th, /webinar for Rachel on the 15th. And we'll be having one with George sometime after that. We'll let you know, of course. So the three Ramsey personalities that deal with money other than me are going to be doing these Every Dollar budgeting webinars for a couple of weeks here to try to get you guys started going into the fall. Kids are going back to school. It's time to get your crap together now, people. Yep. Time to get lined up, and we'll show you how to do it.
It feels good. Can I say that as a mom with the kids going back to school? Like Wednesday, we're working out. We're eating better now. Kids are on a schedule. Life is like you just get back in a routine after the summer fog, and so this is the time to do it. Like things are shaping up in your life, and the schedules. It's a real thing. So make money part of that too in this part of the year because it's the second new year. We call it all the time.
Absolutely. All right, Paul is in Springfield. Hey, Paul, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So I've been obviously listening to a lot of your podcasts about building wealth, and this is something I've been working on for, I'd say, almost 10 years now. I'm 31.
Good for you.
Thank you. I started investing heavily into real estate because that's what my father did, and I saw the value in that of passive income for retirement. I started a new job a couple of years ago and started making life-changing money, just a lot more money. So I started getting a financial advisor to make sure I don't spend the money stupidly or just start investing it and spreading my investments a little bit more broadly. And, obviously I want to keep investing in things and keep growing this wealth smartly, but I was just kind of looking for what your advice would be of what you think maybe the next best steps would be.
Well, I think you're going to be fine if you'll behave in a couple of areas. The reason I think you're going to be fine is the reason most people don't succeed with money is they just don't bother to pay attention. And you've been paying close attention for a decade, which is very important. And so I'm guessing that you probably made some really good strides. So this wonderful money you're making, how much do you make?
Well, last year I made $540,000. This year I'm a 100% commission based job. So right now I'm at, I think, 300,000. So I'm guessing I'm going to make close to 5 again this year. In total.
I'm sorry, I thought you said 140,000 and then you said 500,000. Which is it?
No. So I'm going to make about another 150,000, I think, this year. So I think I'll be at 500,000 again for the year. I think I'll be making $500K again this year.
So last year you made $500,000. This year you're going to make $500,000.
Probably, yes, give or take.
Okay, good.
It's hard
That's fine. I'm just trying to get a general idea. I misunderstood what you said earlier. Okay, good. Wonderful. Congratulations.
Okay, yeah.
That's just a fab. You're right. That's sick money. It's wonderful. I love it. Proud for you. You're obviously doing some good. So here's a couple of rules I've discovered in 30 years of working with wealthy people. Okay. Number one, almost no one statistically becomes a millionaire from an inheritance. So that's all just mythology and bullcrap. Okay. And we've done the largest study of millionaires ever done in North America, 10,167 of them. 89% of them did not become millionaires because of inherited money. So you're not that unusual as you become a millionaire. Number two, millionaires do not do super fancy, weird, extremely risky things and keep their money. They usually lose everything if they do. So the millionaires that we have studied are fairly boring. They put money in things they understand and like. For me, I buy growth stock type mutual funds, growth and income, aggressive growth, international, that kind of thing. And I buy real estate that I pay cash for. Like you, I grew up in a real estate family. Mom and dad were in the business. And so I've loved real estate. I got my real estate license when I turned 18 years old. I love real estate. I've got bukus of real estate, several $100 million worth. But I pay cash for it, and I don't have any debt, and it all cash flows like a bandit. And I don't have any of it that causes me super stress because of that. So, but that's how I live, and my life is great because of that. So I would tell you to invest in things you understand and you're comfortable with. Obviously, real estate is that. People who like real estate often take on a whole lot more debt than I think they should.
Right. So yeah, like I haven't been buying for cash per se, and if I do buy for cash, it's because it's a foreclosure. I'm going to renovate it, and the goal is obviously to buy it at the right price point, and then not overinvest, and then refinance it, putting 20% down, and using the passive income of the rents to pay myself back, or I have enough equity in there.
Let me stop you for a second. There is no passive income from rents. If you've been dealing with renters, you've figured out it ain't passive.
Well, yeah, it depends on how good you are at screening.
It's not
it's
passive.
Never a perfect science.
No, it's not passive. I've been doing it for 40 years. Dealing with renters, commercial or residential, is not passive. That's TikTok mythology. Okay? The real world is it's active.
Passive.
You're active. You have to. Yeah. Real estate has the highest hassle factor of just about any investment you do, but it has one of the higher returns. So, anyway, you called to ask what I think you should do. I think you should use this fabulous income to clear off all this stupid debt you've got on this real estate, and you're going to have a much higher trajectory in your wealth growth long term. Short term, it's going to slow you down. But long term, when you have no debt on this portfolio and the peace that goes with that and this cash flow that's going to go with it, you're going to buy a lot more real estate and pay cash for it. That's how I've got several $100 million worth. I don't have any rents that go to anything except buying more stuff. I don't have no payments.
Yeah. But you hit on this earlier, and I think it's true. When you get into the real estate game, majority of people, they have to go to the bank, right? Like when they're playing this game.
And the majority of them aren't in the business 10 years later.
Yeah.
Because they think it's passive. It's not.
Yeah.
And they think there's no risk in the debt, and there's a lot of risk in that debt.
Yes. And so it's worth going slow, the phrase you coined of moving at the speed of cash.
Yep.
And everything you do, including real estate. But that is a slower pace than, again, what you're going to see on your TikTok or Instagram reels of people doing real estate.
But Paul, when I was in my 20s, I started buying real estate, and I was in a real estate investors club that followed all the crap like we do on TikTok now. All this nothing down real estate or stay in leverage crap. Okay? And the guys that were in that club, there were several people that had millions of dollars of net worth in that club. 100% of them now, 30 years later, are broke and out of the business, or they paid off their debts and they have paid for real estate. There's 3 of them that I know of are still standing, and they all paid it off and became debt-free. The rest of them that tried to continue to play the leverage game, they got hammered in one of the downturns or another, and they're gone. They're out of business. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer. And good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Well, Rachel, all these years of hard work have paid off.
Yeah.
I finally made it.
What happened?
I'm on the Babylon Bee podcast.
You're doing it?
It's dropped today. I taped it when the guys were here the other day, and we taped it.
Oh, that's
funny. And so I have arrived.
Well, they love you on all the memes.
Well, they love me because I get them clicks, is what they love me
funny.
for. We had a great lunch together. They're smart guys. They are funny as crud. And we've been following the Bee since it started back in the day.
Yeah.
And they've used me for...
Is it a satire podcast? That's
no,
I should probably
no, it's just
that.
a regular. No, you don't need me doing humor. It would be weird. But yeah, no, I mean not that. Yeah, we had fun though. They're really good guys. They're really smart guys, and so it's official. I have arrived.
Well done.
Yeah, I'll be getting emails from all my old friends that are huge Babylon Bee podcast fans.
They love it.
Hey, Dave, you really did it, man. You broke through. So there you go.
I wonder what my podcast would be that I'd be like, I've made it. I have a list.
There was a little bit of sarcasm in that, but not much.
No, I was hinting a little bit. I know.
Yeah, but it's
But that plays into their brands.
The first time I was on the Today Show, I got off and went to the green room. This was 1,000 years ago, and this lady was in the green room crying because she had just done her appearance, and she had for 21 years it was her goal to be on the Today Show, and I just kind of walked in and did it, and I didn't know it was supposed to be a goal for 21 years, and so I'm like, that's weird. This is your 21-year goal for a 3-minute hit on the Today Show.
Some people work hard towards things.
I get it, but it was just like, this is your pinnacle? Really? But yeah, okay. I bet
you'd say that about my pinnacle. I got to think what mine is.
Yeah, what was yours?
I don't know, I'll come back to it.
Mine could have been Sally Jesse Raphael. You remember her with the red glasses? Yeah. That could have been a breakthrough. Or the time I argued with Oprah, that might have been when I peaked. Yeah, that was back when I peaked, yeah. Hey, Dr. John Deloney has a brand new book coming out. He has not peaked. He is a skyrocket shooting to the moon, baby. I'm just saying. And this book is selling like crazy. Man, what a success. Thank you, guys. We appreciate your response to this. It is a fabulous book. It's called Building a Non-Anxious Life, the 6 daily choices that you make to get anxiety lowered, because anxiety is telling you something else is wrong. So you fix the 6 things that are wrong, the anxiety goes down, ta-da, just like that. And so very tough to do, but really good book. It actually pubs October 3rd, but it's in pre-sale right now, and a whole bunch of you have taken advantage of the deal where we're selling the book for $20 and throwing in $75 worth of goodies. We're bribing you to buy it early, because it helps us with the marketing, because all the sales up until pub day count the first week towards the bestseller list. So thank you. It helps us. And we appreciate that. We appreciate you guys stepping up and getting this. Instant access to his newest talk, Smoke, Fire, and Freedom. You also get the ebook, the audio book, all of this, and the book itself for $75. We'll ship it all to you except the talk,
They're
which
not
comes
for $75.
now. Do what?
Not for $75.
No, I'm sorry. It's $75 worth of stuff for $20.
Yes,
$20. That's the deal. Serious deal, really. I mean, you can't even, the paper cost has gone up 40% this year, people. Hello. So anyway, and we still got the book at $20. So RamseySolutions.com, you can pre-order the new book. Man, anxiety. You got to get rid of it. Building a non-anxious life.
So good.
Tyler's with us. Tyler's in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Tyler. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for taking my call. It's an honor to speak with you.
You too. What's up?
So I have a question. My wife and I have been paying off debt for about the last year and a half now. We've been able to pay off about $60,000 out of $100,000, and I actually didn't know about the baby steps until about 6 months ago. So at the beginning, we were kind of Dave-ish, I guess you could say, and now we're trying to get a little more gazelle intense with it. We've been doing pretty well with following a budget, and I'm struggling with certain expenses related to like family events. I don't get together with my family very often. We have a wedding coming up that we're going to. And then I just found out from my sister that for her 40th birthday, she wants us to fly out to California and spend a weekend with her at a resort. And it's going to cost us a little over $1,000 for me to go do that. I'm having a hard time deciding whether or not that's a good way to go. I have just my student loans left to pay off, about $40,000. I was really hoping to knock that out. We've been able to increase our income. So I've been hoping to be able to do that in the next few months. And I'm just not sure whether or not that's a good idea. And I thought I'd get your advice.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, the reality is we always say the deeper you sacrifice, the more money that's thrown at the debt, obviously the faster it's going to be paid off. But life is going to be intertwined throughout that. And that's when you and your wife have to kind of make the call yourselves and to say, okay, what are things going on that we feel like we want to be a part of with our family? What are things that we feel like, gosh, we do, but then we also are like, we could do something else at a later date because we want this mess cleaned up. So again, it goes back to, because when we get this type of call all the time of like, yeah, we have my brother's getting married across the country. What do we do? So, I mean, again, it's one of those things that you guys have to decide, is this going to slow us down in our debt payoff, but is it worth it for what we're doing with our family? So, I mean,
the problem, Tyler, is this. Every time you let one of these things in, you not only lose the money towards your get out of debt plan, but you lose 10x the emotional momentum, because your lack of commitment to the process, your lack of intensity to the idea of getting out of debt is chipped away at. And finally, it just doesn't matter. And you stay in debt, and you're a freaking normal broke American that goes to his sister's 40th birthday on a freaking airplane. And that's what happens. Yeah. And, all of a sudden you just look up and you just got fat financially. And it's one hamburger at a time, And so it's not the $1,000. It's the lack of you guys being dialed in and going, game on. I got one plan for a short period of time. I am going to take no prisoners. Nothing's going on. This complete emotional sellout and focus to winning the Super Bowl is the only way you win the Super Bowl. No one half butts their way into the Super Bowl. And that's what you got to get. That's what you got to decide. It's the emotional problem. The math really isn't the problem. It's just, but it's just, and then we're going out. I'm kind of tired. I think I'll go out to eat. Well, call the wambulance. Get your butt in gear and get out of debt. And that's the kind of thing. That's the internal self-talk that has to change. You got to get this commitment up, and that's the problem. And I'm not mad at your sister, but broke people that are $40,000 in debt on stupid butt student loans shouldn't be getting on an airplane to go to somebody's birthday party. Think about it, man. That's just a dumb statement. Really. I'm sorry, you're
so
broke.
Hard. Okay,
no,
I know.
You're broke.
He is. I know. But I feel Tyler and
I get it, but I'm telling you, this is what you.
Okay,
I'm saying, Tyler, this is how you talk to yourself. This is how you talk to yourself. You got to go, I'm too stinking broke to go up there because I'm in student loan debt and I can't do this right now. But that's the truth.
Right.
But it's not me yelling at Tyler. I'm just saying this is the way you have to shift your brain into this gear where you're just going, enough. I'm not living this way anymore.
But the hard thing is that life, now a 40th birthday, it's more flippant than like a wedding or a funeral. Right? Like, there are life events that occur
well,
while
if you have to be there, get your butt in your car and drive up there then. Don't talk to me about buying an airplane ticket when you're broke. Really.
To a resort. I know.
To a resort.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Seriously.
Sorry,
We're going
Tyler.
tent camping with the Kmart used tent that we bought at Walmart or at a garage sale, and we're pedaling
Kmart's
our
gone.
bicycle over there. That's your get out of... No. Jeez, man. No. And Tyler, I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling for you, okay? I want you to get this in your head, and this is how you're talking to yourself. And don't talk to your wife this way either. Talk to yourself this way. We're getting out of debt. We got to pay a price to win. Nobody wins without paying a price. It's a competitive home buying market, but there's a way you can get an edge. Churchill Mortgage works with you to understand your budget and your goals. And the Churchill Mortgage Home Buyer Edge offers you fast pre-approval and a secured interest rate. Plus, Churchill has bumped up their seller guarantee to $10,000, giving your offer the best chance of being accepted and helping you win in today's market. Go to churchillmortgage.com today to learn more. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author and co-host of the Smart Money Happy Hour with George Kamel, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. So, guys, the thing that you're always going to hear from us is there's very few times on this show that we're actually going to be fussing at you. We'll be fussing with you. And if we call you stupid or call what you're doing stupid, rather, we won't call you stupid. We might call what you did stupid. But it's because we know what stupid looks like. We've done it. I've done it more than even Rachel. Rachel grew up in a household where I had quit doing stupid by the time she was born and came along. I had gone broke. But I know what stupid looks like. And we have figured out that personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. And you've got to study and think about this money stuff through the lens of behavior modification. It's not a math problem. So how do I modify my behavior? Well, I have to commit to, and my friend James Clear, in this mammoth book that he did called Atomic Habits, I have to change my identity. Mm-hmm. I am no longer a person who makes stupid but immature, impulsive financial decisions and then looks in the mirror and wonders why I'm broke. I'm no longer that guy. I instead am very careful and very slow. And one of the things we'll help you do here occasionally, and you don't even know we're doing it, but we're very intentional about it, is we want you to have a new identity when you get off the call. And that guy doesn't think of himself as a broke person with $40,000 in student loan debt. But when you have no money and $40,000 in student loan debt, you need to identify yourself as a broke person because you are a broke person. Broke people don't do some things that people that aren't broke can do. And you quit doing those things so that you aren't broke people anymore. And so if you are a doctor and you make $250,000 a year and you owe $110,000 on your BMW and $450,000 on your medical school student loan debt, you are a broke but doctor. You need to re-identify and go, this is who I am, and I want to change that identity. Because then you quit doing rich people stuff while you're broke. Because when you do broke God, so you just have to stop. You have to stop. And, that's when I went bankrupt and lost everything because of my stupidity, I had to reset and go, guess what? The stuff you believed about money, borrowing all you can, getting your credit card points, doing anything you want to do because I make good money. And everybody's got a different definition about what good money is. Right. I had to re-identify and go, no, you're stupid. You need to stop being stupid.
And I think what's hard is we've lived in a world and a culture where because of the avenue of debt, you accumulate not just stuff, but even if you have a good income, like you're saying, the doctor, whoever, I'm making good money, I have the stuff, and it's like the part of the debt of the what I own minus what I owe doesn't come into the equation. It's just you stay at that top, sphere emotionally, instead of looking at the reality of the numbers.
So how do you modify behavior? You first identify reality of where I am, and I'm going to reset my identity, and I don't want to be that person anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm going to quit being that. I'm going to do the things, I'm going to take the steps, I'm going to make the sacrifices so that I don't do that. And I've used the example on the air many times here, to the point that the people in the booth are sick of it. But during COVID, we were working, the leadership team, trying to keep this place open. And I figured out later that how I deal with high stress scenarios is I eat a lot. I ate every donut in a 50-mile radius.
And you brought donuts to us.
I was already overweight, and when I get to COVID, I went into donut mode, and I got so freaking fat. It was ridiculous. I looked in the mirror, this round head looked like a basketball. It was crazy. And I'm like, this has got to, you're a donut-eating fat boy. You need to stop this. And that's how you stop it. You look at it and you go, this is the reality. You have to stop doing this or you're going to explode. Like the kid on Willy Wonka. I mean, it's just awful. You have to stop it. You have to stop it. And so, no more donuts. And the other day, we had the grandkid birthday with the donuts, and Papa Dave made a big deal about he was going to steal one of the kids' donuts, but he didn't touch a donut.
Didn't do it.
No more donuts
you
for Papa Dave. I'm completely
Donut
cold
Dave.
turkey on the freaking donuts. I dropped 42 pounds because I needed to. Hello. And that's the thing. Everybody has something like that. It's a behavior change. It wasn't that I intellectually analyzed caloric intake. Good Lord, no. I had to stop it, And this is what we all have to do. I'm no different than anybody else, and that is my point. And so, guys, this is how money works. It's not a math problem. Mm-hmm. It's a you problem.
Yep.
And when you get that, man, you got the Ramsey thing down. And then you're going to go win. And this is how we've talked and cajoled and motivated and praised and lifted more people through their debt journeys into millionaire status than any other entity on the planet. The Ramsey Solutions Group has. Millions of people have completely changed their lives financially because of us on the radio doing what we're doing right now. Us on the podcast doing, us on the stage, us in a book.
And that's empowering
doing
you
what we're right now.
to
telling you how to go be a hero.
You're the solution.
Go be the hero.
It's up to you. Yes. And so to the caller earlier, it's up to him. Right? Like if you continue to just be that in and out scenario, like you're saying, that's the result you're going to get. But you decide that. You have to make those choices. It's up to you. And if you choose, hey, I'm actually going to go scorched earth, I'm done, because the reality is I am broke. I can't go do these fun things that I want to do. I don't have the money. You're making that choice to later then actually have the money.
Yes, to do anything you want.
Yes.
You live like no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else. You'll never be in a position again that you have to choose between your groceries and the broke single mom in front of you whose third credit card was denied, and you want to buy her groceries, but you can't because you can't even barely buy yours. And you don't ever want to be like that again. You always want to be the guy, the gal in line behind that goes, hey, I got that and this. Why? Because I paid a price.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up the resort 40th birthday party. And I paid a price to do the thing so that I can do anything then. And that's how this works. There's not a middle ground. Well, I sort of kind of, it doesn't work. You're either going to be just sloppy and disorganized, and in this country, you can have a really good life with a fair amount of stress and be deeply in debt and have your standard of living is ridiculous. And you make $120,000 a year, you're broke, but you have an incredible life. You travel, you can buy cars, you can do a lot of stuff that on the surface looks like you got it all going on, and you can live a stinking life of rich people in any other country for sure, and be broke as broke and make it all the way through to retirement and go, gosh, I hope the government, which is well known for its ability to handle money, will take care of me. Or you can decide, I'm going to be autonomous, and I don't really care what you think about what I drive. I don't really care what you think about my vacation. I don't really care what you think about anything. As for me and my house, we're going to get our crap together. You can make that decision. And when you do, it changes everything.
It changes everything, not just financially, though. I'm like, the underneath the surface, you guys, when you live, the first example of that, I'm like, that is full of stress and anxiety and pain and tension. There's so much. It's like you can't even breathe. Yeah, you got everything, but you're barely hanging on by a string. One thing that goes wrong, the entire house falls. Versus the latter and saying, you know what, I'm actually going to build a life, yes, all based on me and not all the other industry standards.
It's Botox financial. It's fake. It's fake. It's a facade.
That's more like filler financial. Botox just
plastic surgery financial, whatever, right? It's like going to Universal and they got this beautiful house, only when you walk through the back door, there's nothing there. It's just a facade for the camera. And people live their lives that way. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz, co-host on The Ramsey Show. If you want to do your debt-free scream live on the show, visit RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream. We'd love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story. That's RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream.
From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, and co-host of the Smart Money Happy Hour podcast on the Ramsey Network. Be sure and check it out. She's my co-host today. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Fox News reporting Americans are increasingly turning to their credit cards to cover everyday expenses, with debt surpassing $1 trillion for the first time at the end of June, according to the New York Federal Reserve report published today. In the 3-month period from April to June, total credit card debt surged to $1.03 trillion, an increase of $45 billion, or 4.6% from the previous quarter. It marks the highest level ever on record in the Fed, dating back all the way to 2003. The rise in credit card usage and debt is particularly concerning because interest rates are astronomically high right now. Oh, horse crap. Credit card interest rates have always been astronomical high. I've been doing this show for 35 years. They've been 18 to 28% the whole time I've been on the air. No one thinks any of that's low. That's dumber than a rock. All right, the average credit card annual percentage rate, or APR, hit a record of 20.33%. Now, according to Bankrate, and that goes back to 1985. The previous record was 19% in July of 91. See, there's my point. I came on the air in 1994, or 1992, I'm sorry. And so, yeah, the interest rates have always been at the screw you level on credit cards, okay? Let's just be straight. If people are carrying debt to compensate for steeper prices, they could end up paying more items in the long run. For instance, if you owe $5,000 and you pay 28% on it, it's going to be a lot of money. We don't need an article to figure that one out. $1 trillion in credit card debt is staggering. Well, yeah, that's true. Guys, I got to tell y'all, this is the dumbest thing I've seen, and I don't know when. How long does it take people to figure out that these pieces of plastic called credit cards are not there for you? How long does it take to figure out that, here's Bank of America? Let's do an on-air plastic surgery right now. We're just going to start chopping up cards. Bank of America. That's two good things to get rid of. Credit card and Bank of America. Both stupid. Here's another Platinum Bank of America. We'll get rid of that one too. Chase this, okay? Here's Home Depot. They take cash, by the way. You don't need this. Countrywide. They're broke. Okay. Oh, my God. There's another Bank of America. We must collect Bank of America old cards around here. These people, just time to stop. It is time for a plasectomy, America. $1 trillion in credit card debt. I'm getting airline miles. No, you're not. You're in debt. You're in debt. $1 trillion. When you do it with the student loans, we call it an epic pandemic crisis. When we do it with credit cards, it's on the 3rd page of Fox's website. It's $1 trillion of you buying crap you can't afford with money you don't have to impress people you don't even really like. Maybe you should stop that. I don't know. We've been doing this for 30 years. I feel like we're not getting anywhere.
The progress, it's not really showing up, Dave. Not really showing up.
We're not really moving the needle on America.
Because what I think has happened is I think it's two things. I think the credit card, the game is a very real thing. And people say, well, if I'm going to buy gas, might as well put it on my credit card so I can get cash back. If I'm going to be buying this anyways, might as well put it on the credit card to get the airline miles.
But it's kind of a Dr. Phil thing. So how's that working for you?
It's living in that cycle. And then there's a real truth that people are using those to pay for food and to pay for stuff.
No.
Yes.
They have the money for food. They're using these because they don't want to cut off Netflix. They're using these because they want to go on vacation and they're broke. That's why they're using them. It's the same reason they've always been using them.
100%. Yes.
You cannot make an economic case that people are actually have to have a credit card for survival today. That's just not true. It's not, in their brains they keep saying
that's what I was going to say, though.
The mathematical facts don't back it up.
When you look at their budget and you look at what's going on and what they make and what rent, I mean, everything in it, what's hard is I'm like the math, it is tight. It is hard. But what happens is the standard of living that we're all expected to live causes these things to have to be a necessity in order to live that standard of living. And so to cut that down.
Well, that means the average American's living as stupid as their own Congress is living.
Well,
they just keep spending and spending and spending like there's no tomorrow, like there's no reckoning for this level of debt. You keep running up. You got $1 trillion. You got $1.7 trillion in student loan debt. You got to now have $1 trillion in credit card debt, and then you can't figure out why the average American can't seem to get ahead. Well, I think I figured it out. They're giving it all to stinking banks. That's why they got no money. You work your butt off your whole life, and you give all your money to a stupid bank. And that's why you got no money. It's not a real hard formula.
No, and I think the perspective has to be, and the mindset shift has to be that if you are someone listening and you're like, yeah, I know, but we're paycheck to we're not like doing extravagant stuff. We're just we're just living life, and so the no debt philosophy, even with credit cards, is to say, okay, have a pretend scenario, pretend budget where you said we cannot borrow anything. We have to use the money that hits our account.
Yeah.
Then that's how you build your life.
You're right.
But what happens is we build our life around
and then you refuse to change it to adjust for the
right.
variables.
And that's what's hard with the student loan payments coming back in October.
You're
you guys
about
in a
to
few
get
months.
Hammered.
There's going to be another
ready.
huge expense in the budget.
We're going to act like we're surprised. Student loans came back. Hey, Christmas is always in December. They don't move it. And the student loans are coming in October. We've been telling you this.
So
okay?
I'm just saying there's going to be a level of pain that a lot of people are going to start to feel even more in the next few months.
You know what these are? These are plastic denial.
Yeah.
I'm in denial that I have to deal with my crap.
Yes.
And so I'm going to put it on a credit card and act like nothing changed. Well, stuff changed, Bubba.
Yep.
And these people, this is not sophisticated. This is straight up stupid. These companies are screwing you, and you're signing up for the trip. You're asking for it, and you're getting hammered at 18 to 28%, and you wonder why you make $100,000 a year and have no money because you signed up for a stupid trip on the stupid cruise, and it's called the plastic cruise. It's out of control, you guys. They have lulled you to sleep. They've made you believe you have to have one of these stupid things to exist. Don't leave home without it. Well, guess what? Daniel Boone left home without it. He made it okay. All right? You can make it without these stupid things. Get you a debit card, pay cash for it, get control of your life, get some autonomy from these banks. They own your butt, and you gave them the deed. Don't give them the deed to your butt. They own you. This is The Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us, America. We appreciate you being here. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm your host, Dave Ramsey. Rachel Cruz is my co-host today. Hey, if you want to help us out, we would appreciate it. You are our marketing budget. Yep, you. If you'll follow the show, click follow, click subscribe, whether you're YouTubing or you're podcasting or if you're listening on talk radio, tell people where you listen, spread the word, your local talk radio station. There's 680 stations carrying the show out there right now. If you're watching on TBN, tell people that. Wherever you're catching us, just share about it, leave a 5-star review, click a follow, click a subscribe. Every time you do that, it helps us a bunch. And we know you're doing it, and we know there's a bunch of new people because you're doing that. Thank you. The other day, we hit number 12 in the world on Apple Podcast. There's 4.2 million podcasts on Apple, and we're number 12. Because of you guys. And that's important because they put them up there in 2 rows of 6, so we barely make the corner. Number 13, you don't see it. You see number 12 over there, and it helps us because people will listen that way that never listened before, and they just never know what they're going to get when they listen here. So
hopefully get hope.
Hopefully get some hope and some instruction and some aspiration and some motivation and all that kind of stuff. So check it out. Hey, speaking of hope, Dr. John Deloney has a new book out called Building a Non-Anxious Life. He's one of our Ramsey personalities here. He's got a great podcast, and he's on this show quite often as a co-host as well. The book is $20 on how to get rid of your anxiety, really is what it amounts to. How do you build a life that doesn't eliminate anxiety but lowers it greatly? And, well, you kind of get your arms around it, literally. So it's $20. The book comes out October the 3rd. We're in pre-sale right now. So you can get the book for $20, and because it's in pre-sale, if you buy it now, we will give you an extra $75 in bonus items, including the ebook and the audiobook, including one of his talks that he did recently that is very good. So be sure you check this out. Get it all at RamseySolutions.com/store. Dr. John Deloney's new book, Building a Non-Anxious Life. Alex is next. Alex is in Boston. Hey, Alex, what's up?
Hi, Dave and Rachel. Thanks for taking my call.
Our pleasure. How can we help?
Great. Well, Dave, I've heard you. Well, let me start. I'm 38. My fiance is 32. We're getting married in 2 months from now.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you so much. And I've heard you give kind of a rundown with some callers on their assessing their finances and their ability to afford a home, which we'd like to do hopefully in the next, say, 12 to 18 months or so.
Great. Good plan.
Great. So I guess I have been unknowingly kind of working your steps for a while now. I've lived kind of like a grad student for the last 10 years since taking my first job, and just kind of slowly getting my fiance on board with living below means and less online ordering and kind of getting a handle on our finances. And so, yeah, I'd like to kind of just get your thoughts on our readiness within that time frame.
Okay, so I mean, really, it's going to depend on where you guys are, debt-wise, savings-wise, and what houses are in the area that you guys can afford. So when you guys get married and everything is combined, how much debt will you guys have?
So we have no debt, no student loan debt. We would have some potential debt if my wife was to not work at her job, then her car payment would become her own. But that's our only debt.
No, that's not how that works. Do they furnish her a car, or do they give her a car allowance?
They give her a car allowance.
Okay, she has car debt. Because if you lose the job, you're in car debt. The car is in her name. The debt is in her name. She's got car debt. You get the car allowance whether you have a car payment or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's straight up. That's a straight up liability, dude. That's got to be cleared. How much does she owe on her car?
$34,000.
Holy moly! Okay, what do you guys make?
We're both making pretty equal money, right? Just below $150,000 each.
Okay, good. That's good.
Okay.
So you can clear this off real fast.
Yeah.
And will that be it, Alex? No credit card debt, personal loans, anything?
No, that's our only debt.
Okay, awesome. And then how much will you guys have in savings, just in liquid cash, if you combine?
So I don't keep a lot of cash on hand. I have about $25,000 in cash.
Okay.
Where's the rest of it?
Saving in ETFs and retirement accounts.
How much in non-retirement do you have?
$355,000.
Well done, sir.
Good job.
Well done. So when you get married, when you come home from the honeymoon, write a check, pay off her car if she doesn't already have the money to do it before then.
Okay.
That's step one. Step two is allocate an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses out of something. Just say earmark that fund right there.
It could be the $25,000.
That can be our $25,000. That can be whatever your emergency fund is. And then everything else I would throw at your down payment. So you've got a healthy down payment. Mm-hmm. Non-retirement all goes at the down payment.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're almost going to have a house paid off. I mean, what price range home would you buy?
Well, we live in a very high cost of living area.
Yes, you do.
Really the only neighborhoods that you would want to buy in here, kind of the entry level homes there are $750 and above.
Yeah, that's probably right. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
And you're going to have what, $300,000 to put down, give or take?
Well, she has money too.
Oh, how much has she got?
So probably I'd say a net worth with retirement and brokerage of around $625K.
Yeah.
And she has combined worth of around $350.
Okay, but we're using only non-retirement.
What's
we would not use
non-retirement
retirement for how much non-retirement cash can she get a hold of?
She has $80K.
Okay, and you got $300 and some change, and we got to clear up a car loan, and we got to have an emergency fund, and so you're going to put down, $400K, give or take, on a $700,000 house. You make $300, you're going to pay off your house really fast. That's cool.
I guess I'm from the Midwest where, houses cost $200,000, and the idea of
but you don't live there.
Having the idea of just crawling to a bank and owing the bank $500,000 or something is just kind of a lot to undertake.
Well, I mean, if you buy $700 and you put down $400, you only have a $350 and you make $300. So you're going to knock that out in 3 years or 4 years, and you'll have it free and clear. And you're young, rich people then with paid for everything. Oh my gosh, your net worth will be over $1 million easy.
What's causing you to be hesitant, Alex? You don't want to go all in on a house?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been, saving slowly, investing every check.
Are you renting now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you want to rent, you can rent. It's a bad long-term play because 100% of the time rents go up.
Yeah.
And so it's a bad long-term.
Believe me, I know. I've rented for 15 years.
But I mean, short-term, if you guys want to rest a little bit and pile up a big old pile of cash and pay cash for the house, and you want to take 2 or 3 years and do that, I'm okay if you want to go that way. You'll be okay. Just don't be a renter for 10 years. I mean, it's not going to be good.
Y'all are in a better situation than that. So go ahead and get the equity and start looking at home ownership because you guys are in that position.
Fair enough. I don't borrow money. And so if I were in your shoes, we'd be just continuing. We would knock the car out. We build the emergency fund. We take the 300 and the 80 and put them together. And we'd say, all right, we're going to chunk everything on here, a couple hundred a year. We're going to live on 100, make 300. And, pretty quick, I'm going to pay cash for a house because I don't borrow money for anything ever. And that's how Sharon and I would have to do it because that's the only way we do it. If you want to be that guy, that's completely freakish and wonderful. I love it. That's going to get you richer even faster. Yeah. Actually, but it's hard to talk people into doing that. So I didn't go there.
Yeah, but you called Alex to ask about, are we in a position to buy a house? And the answer is yes. I mean, yes. You guys are in an incredible position. You've done the hard work. Yes. So now the back half of owning the home is going to be like, oh yeah, we'll just pay it off in a really short period of time. Yeah. And then you guys have your income and it's just yours at that point. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Boston's single family residence in a good neighborhood is a better investment than a UTF. Okay? You're going to make more money on it. So it's not a bad investment. This is The Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. If you're in the Nashville area, come and visit us. We're just south in Franklin, Tennessee. Our lobby is open, and we do this show live on the glass from 1 to 4 Central Time every day, Monday through Friday, 3 hours of broadcast. And usually there's 50 to 200 folks hanging out and watching the show. It's completely free, and as is the wonderful coffee and the homemade chocolate chip cookies. The other thing that happens here in the lobby is we have this little stage called the Debt-Free Stage, and on that stage right now is Maggie and Patrick. Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Welcome. Good to have you. Where do you guys live?
Annapolis, Maryland.
All right, and you're all the way to Nashville to do a debt-free scream.
Yes.
How much have you paid off?
$91,000, 320. Now, can you say that?
$91,322.
Yes. I love it. All right, and how long did this take?
13 months.
Good.
Wow.
And your range of income during that time?
We started right around 135 and then 145.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a math coach in elementary school, work with teachers, find fun ways to teach math all day long. It's a good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a good gig.
Yeah. I'm home with the kids, and then I also own a photography business, and that was kind of a big part of the story as well as to how we got our income shovel up and used my business to really get started.
Good. What kind of debt was the $91,000?
Mostly student loans.
That
I'm not using.
We had small credit card debts. We had to purchase like a new water softener system for our house. When that went out, we had to get a brand new HVAC system. So we had lots of small little things, and they just pile up on you, and we just wanted to do something about it and get rid of them.
How long you guys been married?
It'll be 10 years in September.
Okay, so you're kind of going along pretty normal, and then something happened. What changed the story?
So I remember we had our second child and just feeling like, why do we have like no extra money to like enjoy life, go out to dinner, or it just felt like we were always just so like tight with money. And I heard about you. I think at the time I thought we only had like $50,000 in debt because that's all I was thinking about was my student loans. And so I was talking to some friends and they're like, have you heard of Dave Ramsey? This was probably like 7 years ago. And I looked you up on Google and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, we have to do this. And I kind of like shoved it down his throat and he was like, whoa, like slow down. So needless to say, we didn't really get started right away. I think we kind of like sat on it for a while, and like then in 2020 we really decided to to start doing it.
COVID was a wake up?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just, I think we had more time to like actually talk about like what do we want for our future. And, like a lot of people say, you're not going out to eat anyway. So it was kind of the right time to get started. So we started in 2020. And then, so Dave, I actually called about a year ago. I called into the show. We were contemplating on whether or not we should sell our car to really like get some momentum. And I explained to you that, we had been chipping away, but even though we got started in 2020, at the end of that year, we had our third child, and he had a lot of health issues when he was a baby. So that following year, 2021, I mean, we completely like fell off the wagon. We were like, Dave who? We were just like back to like normal life, not budgeting, just really just surviving. Because like I said, it was just a really tough year.
Yeah.
And when I called and asked you about it, you were just very encouraging. You were so kind and compassionate, and you said, you've been through the ringer, but now it's time for you guys to like get back on, and you've got this. And that was just really like what we needed to hear in order to get this done. So
step back into the saddle and finish.
Yep. And it feels surreal to be there.
Yeah. Because 13 years ago, I mean, for a solid year, you guys were doing it. So what was the hardest part of the past year? Because you guys were in and out of the plan a little bit, but doing it consistently for a solid year.
Yep.
What was the thing that was like, oh my gosh, this is difficult?
Just the small little achievements that we were making. I think she called, I think you actually said, we had $80-something thousand of debt at that point. I think you said, there's no need to sell your car. We only owed 10 grand on it. It'll eventually go away. We did sell the car, then we were down to 70. And then I had student loans, and we were just paying off just the small amounts at a time. I think we were done with Home Depot, and we were done with the airline tickets, like the previous caller said about an hour ago. So we were down to like 2 big chunks of money, and we just kind of, we went back and forth with the housing market at where it is right now. We need a bigger house, and we want to switch the kids into a different school district. So we did. So we bit the bullet, and we sold our house. Whoa. And we paid off Maggie's student loans. We paid off my student loans.
It was a really hard decision. We really did think about it like we went back and forth so much. Like, do we just stay here and take another year to finish paying all this off? Or do we just sell? And the Annapolis market is still really hot. We listed on Friday, and then we were under contract on Sunday for $50,000 over asking.
Wow.
So we're like, okay, this was obviously the right decision. I mean, it is hard, and moving is painful. It's just stressful, but we're in the school district that we want to be in now. And we just signed for a 2-year lease to save up more.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, and then you can use that time to get ready to purchase again. In the right district, and in the meantime, you're clear.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Does it feel as good as you were imagining?
It feels fantastic. I know that she started this, and just along the way, every time, she got out her little app and she swiped up, and we said, okay, that's gone. And then we did her huge student loan payment. That was like $48,000.
Yeah.
But that was gone, and we still have, a big chunk of money to put down on our future house, but we really want the bigger house, and we just need a little bit more to save up, and we know we can do it.
And we want to do it the right way. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's kind of like we're starting over, we made a huge mess, we cleaned it up, and we're starting this new journey with so much more knowledge, and now we have like goals, and we just never used to talk about it. We never could really envision, what the future was going to look like, and now it's like all we do. We can actually like dream, and we can set goals and achieve them. And
it's called hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Okay, tell me about your photography business, because you said that was a big part of getting some of this debt paid off.
Yeah. So I was pretty much just like staying at home with the kids, and I worked like a little like part-time 2-day-a-week job, and it just wasn't bringing in any money. And I had always done photography like as a hobby. And so I'm like, well, maybe I'll start like a Facebook page, or I'll make like a little website and see where it goes. And it completely exploded. It turns out I'm not bad at it. So I do weddings. I have a studio where I do like newborns and everything.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been so amazing and just way more successful than I ever could have imagined.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
That's so great. And then added to the journey of helping pay off the debt.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you guys.
Great, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so
now
much.
Now that you're completely free, was it worth it?
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And people, I think, when we talk about it with, our friends, I think people just can't really understand, like, wow, you would sell your house to get out of debt. And it's like, when you want something that bad, you'll make it happen. The inner peace is just, it's priceless.
And, by the way, you're making a move you need to make anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's nothing unintelligent about this at all. It's very wise. Very wise all the way around. Way to go, you guys.
So great, you guys. Congratulations.
Hey, we got the Live and Give box for you, the Baby Steps Millionaires book, Total Money Makeover book, and the Financial Peace membership. You guys are impressive. Way to go, heroes.
Thank you.
We're proud of you. $91,000 paid off in 13 months, including the sale of the car and the house. $135 to $145 income. Maggie and Patrick from Annapolis, Maryland. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free.
Yeah! I told you could do it. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Mary Kay Ash said, aerodynamically, the bumblebee shouldn't be able to fly, but the bumblebee doesn't know it, so it goes on flying anyway. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Brad is in Lexington. Hey, Brad, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how's it going?
Better than we deserve, brother. How can we help?
So I am a 32-year-old pharmacist, and I have $5,500 in a checking account, $21,000 in a money market account, and $27,000 in a Roth IRA and Vanguard Total Market Mutual Fund. So I had a large amount of cash saved up, and about a year ago, I found some land in a prime location to put a pharmacy, so I bought it, cash. And I was ready to go. I was approved for the construction loan. And then about 7 months ago, I got diagnosed with cancer.
And so sorry.
Well, that's okay. And
how you doing?
I'm beating it now. I'm in remission now.
Oh, good.
But it wiped out a lot of my savings. So what I said earlier is all I've got. I've got $187,000 in student loans for my doctorate degree. And I'm approved for a $500,000 construction loan for the pharmacy. And I have a $300,000 line of credit to fund it until it's profitable. I was just wanting to get an honest opinion of my financial situation and see what you guys think I should do.
Man, Brad, well, you've been through a lot. And how much? You said you bought the land before the diagnosis. How much is the land?
I paid $50,000 for it.
Okay.
And then I did about $70,000 of work to the land.
Okay. Well, I don't borrow money, and I don't teach people to borrow money. And every time you borrow money, you increase risk. You have $187,000 in debt, and you're talking about going another $300,000 in debt. You're going to end up $1 million in the hole running a pharmacy. That does not sound like a probability of success to me. That sounds like an accident looking for a place to happen. It sounds like a dream that could end up being more of a nightmare. And I'm not a dream killer, but I love killing nightmares.
Yeah.
So I want you to live this dream in some way, but I would beg you to do it in a way that involves a lot less risk than what you've got today, what you're describing.
How much are you making now, Brad, at your job?
$170,000.
170. Okay.
Yeah. I would sell the land and I would pay off the debt, the student loan debt, and then I would begin to save and think about how I'm going to open a pharmacy for the least amount that doesn't involve a building. In other words, here, what you described to me is about 70% real estate and about 30% business. You could go find a closed Walgreens and rent it from that landlord, and with no real estate cost, move in it and start a pharmacy for $1 bazillion less than you're talking about. But you're doing more of a real estate deal here than you are a pharmacy deal.
Yeah, well, the issue was the place that I found is a dream location. I have
and it's also a nightmare location.
Yeah.
Because the risk the cash flow bind you're putting yourself in from day one means you have to move a lot of pharmaceuticals, man. That's a lot of little pills to pay that bill. I mean, wow. I from a business perspective, I think you're asking for trouble. But again, I love helping people live their dreams. If I were in your shoes, I would want to own my own thing too. I've always run and owned my own business just about my whole life, and so I'm right there with you on that. But it's not the what, it's the how that's bothering me. So no, I would not do the deal the way you've outlined it. I think you're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get in a bind, and I think you're going to be stressed out, and it's going to take you a decade to get your way through this, and I don't want that for you. I think you can sell this land and real quickly be 100% debt-free, making 170. Then you can start piling up cash, and I would find a building that is not a dream location that I can rent and let someone else bear the real estate costs, and I'd start my business in a rented building for 1/10 of what you're talking about spending.
Yeah, and Brad, there's always... my red flag always goes up when people use language, and you kind of used it in this call of like, it's the dream location, it's the only thing. When there starts to be no options and it's like, well, this is the only thing I can do, it pins you in a corner to make you feel like this is the only thing I can do, whether the math makes sense or not. It's the only option.
And that's
not true. It's not true. And so you have to expand your options, because options are going to be you're going to be able to lower the emotion of the dream location to see, okay, what actually is making sense here. And so don't pin yourself in such a small, narrow path of this one thing, even though I get it, right? I mean, like, there's dream locations everywhere. Like, we all know that.
And here's the thing. Let's do this. Let's take it a step further, okay? Because here's what we did at Ramsey, all right? We start small, and then we move up with cash, and we move up with cash. And we we're in a 500,000 square foot office building right here. I mean, that's paid for. We certainly didn't start there. We started in a rented basement, 800 square feet, month-to-month rental. We started on a card table in my living room. Okay, so what you could do is this. You could go my way. You could say, all right, we're going to be debt-free, and I'm going to save up 50 to 100 grand, and I'm going to open in an existing location of some kind where I can rent the building, and all I need is the pharmacy setup. I need the shelving, I need the stock, the inventory, I need the licensing, I need to do that stuff. And it may not be as good a location, but we're going to get started. So we're going to risk $50,000 to $100,000 of cash, not of borrowed money. Get that thing working and making serious money again, and get back up to your income, and then save up and pay cash for the deal that you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Or a deal like you're trying to do here. And if you want to do the dream $400,000 worth of real estate and $100,000 worth of setup, $500,000 going in, you do that all in cash after you already got one up and running. Because you will learn so much in your first one that you pay cash for that will inform doing the second one wiser. And I don't know if we can stop you or not, but if we can stop you with one phone call, we would stop you for your own good. It doesn't affect us, but I'm begging you, don't do that deal. It is so full of holes, so full of risk that you don't see. And I want you to have a wonderful life. I want you to own your own business, but I do not want it to own you. And you are getting ready to be shackled, hands and feet, when you sign up for all this stuff. And it doesn't feel like it's a risk for you because all you can see is the upside, because all of us that want to own our own business are optimists. We're all glass half full people, and that's how our brains work. So I'm happy for your cancer remission.
Yes.
Happy that you're getting the other side of that. I'm thrilled for you. Thrilled that you've got a wonderful career, making really good money. Now clean up your student loan mess. Build a basis of life on a foundation where everything's, more grown up and it's less fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's a good rule of thumb, too, for people starting anything. Start small. You start small because your mistakes are going to be smaller. Your learnings are you're going to be able to, it's not these big fatal mistakes. If you are starting something at the pinnacle, which is a little bit, Brad, is kind of what you're saying. It's like, I'm taking out $300,000. I'm going to do a construction loan, build my own. I mean, you're doing the big thing. And for some reason, if it doesn't if it's not working or there's mistakes to be made, those are magnified because of the scale at which you're choosing to do it. So starting small on anything is
I'll just tell you, I have built from the ground up hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate, hundreds of millions in homes, in commercial buildings, in the buildings that we're in on this campus. 100% of the buildings we built, if we were doing them over, we'd do them different.
Yeah, and they end up being expensive. I mean, you know what I mean? There's just so much in that process.
100%, you have unseen expenses that catch you off guard. 100% of business does not work the way you think it's going to. 100 out of 100 times. You just count on it, and that's what goes with this territory. Hey, man, thanks for the call. Hope it goes well for you. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.